times, we have never turned to a simplistic, self-involved gas bag of a candidate. I'm offended as a man. I'm not offended as a husband or a father. I'm offended as a guy. That's just not right. I'm sorry. It's not right at work. It's not right in the locker room. It's wrong. Period. The end.
Tom Hanks just set the internet on fire. And no, it wasn't for another heartwarming movie role. This time, America's favorite everyman went off on Donald Trump, live on air. And let's just say, it wasn't exactly a feel-good moment for Team MAGA.
The administration, the way it's been, I think, I'm not sure the man has took his oath seriously to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Hanks didn't just criticize Trump, he's eviscerating him, questioning whether he took his oath seriously and calling out his dangerous, self-serving approach to leadership.
When a celebrity talks about politics, it's like when I try to talk about sports. Everybody cringes and no one takes it serious.
And of course, you know what happened next. Trump went full-blown meltdown mode, and his little puppets were out to save him. So what did Tom say that had Trump reaching for the all-caps button on Truth Social? Let's break it down. Tom Hanks has played war heroes, astronauts, and captains who face off against Somali pirates. But his latest role? Trump's worst nightmare.
Do you worry about the United States in terms of its commitment to democracy and freedom and everything these people died for if there's another Trump presidency?
I think there's always reason to be worried about the short term, but I look at the longer term of what happened.
During a recent interview, Hanks didn't hold back, saying that Trump never took his oath of office seriously and casting doubt on whether he ever cared about defending the Constitution.
Of liberty for ourselves and for our posterity. We need a brand of guidance, and we need a brand of common sense, and we need a brand of selflessness that has not been on display for.
And honestly, can anyone argue with that? The man probably thought Constitution was just a fancy word for a prenup.
You know, in the past, there were Republicans that I never questioned that their sincerity or their belief in the American system.
Hanks pointed out that the past Republican leaders, whether you agree with them or not, at least had a fundamental belief in American democracy.
You don't have to pay too much attention to the news to realize the great divisions that's going on. I think the United States of America is going through a great reckoning on a number of the facets of what it means to be an American.
But Trump, he treats the presidency like his personal reality show, except instead of firing contestants, he was trying to fire democracy itself.
But I believe that I have witnessed, from my perspective, is that there is fear and outrage and xenophobia has been commoditized. It's turned into the bigger trademark for how America puts itself out in the world.
The best part, Hanks delivered all of this in that calm, measured tone that makes you feel like you're being scolded by America's dad. You just know Trump was watching this, seething, yelling at the TV like it was an FBI agent raiding his golf cart. You could set your watch to Trump's meltdown at this point. Within hours of Hanks' comments making the rounds, Trump was on Truth Social, rage posting about Hollywood elites, and calling Hank a washed-up actor with low ratings. His voters were out in full flow too.
Commentator Meghan McCain wrote, Tom Hanks always wanted to pretend he's the likable everyman, but he's as hate-mongering of regular Americans as any host on MSNBC. Good luck becoming less and less culturally relevant by the second, bro. Mario Knopfel, internet personality and founder of crypto and blockchain advisory firm IBC, wrote, Hollywood still doesn't get it, portraying Trump supporters as racist caricatures while he's winning record minority support. SNL's trying 2016 jokes in 2025.
Because let's be real. When you've lost a debate with a guy whose most famous scene involves talking to a volleyball, it's time to reevaluate your life choices.
They will serve as special envoys to me for the purpose of bringing Hollywood, which has lost much business over the last few years, to foreign countries back bigger, better, and stronger than.
And in true Trump fashion, his rant wasn't just an attack on Hanks. It was the greatest his compilation of his paranoia. Of course, Fox News jumped in faster than Rudy Giuliani reaching for a questionable business deal.
Look, I think that at some point it's become now cool to be like, I'm not going to go do this. And it's
The network immediately went into full-blown damage control mode, scrambling to paint Hanks as yet another out-of-touch Hollywood elite who doesn't understand real America.
because I think that there's something that we all should come together as Americans and want to support our leaders, our elected officials, Republican, Democrat. And I think the idea that it's become kind of cool to say, I won't even show up to see the President of the United States is a sad commentary on where we are. And I think that for people like Tom Hanks, who's I think a great film producer and director, he should take the lead and maybe say, you know what, I want to go talk to the President about these important issues.
One anchor called him a washed-up liberal actor trying to stay relevant, which is hilarious, considering Tom Hanks is one of the most beloved and successful actors of all time. Meanwhile, Trump is out here selling Bibles and golden dollar bills, like a traveling snake oil salesman.
One of America's favorite actors is insulting the president just to sell his movie. She added that Hanks flops as a political commentator and pundit, and closed with a reference to his starring role in the 2000 movie Castaway, saying, with a smirk, maybe it's time to cast away.
Another Fox commentator ranted about Hollywood hypocrisy, as if Donald Trump, a reality TV star who had spent decades plastering his name on overpriced hotels, is somehow the beacon of blue-collar America.
The world, Hanks explained, where a president treats papers like the Washington Post as purveyors of fake news. Hey, Gump, maybe he treats them that way because half the time they are.
At this point, Fox defending Trump is like a bad lawyer trying to get an arsonist off the hook by saying, sure, he burnt the house down, but at least he doesn't like kale.
Oh, by the way, and Tom Hanks needn't worry. As Daily Variety pointed out, President Trump has not asked to screen the film The Post at the White House, so no worries. Maybe it's time to, I don't know, cast away Tom Hanks. I kind of liked him better, by the way, on the deserted island, talking to that volleyball. That was cute. That's the dialogue that I enjoy from Tom Hanks. Riveting.
Even Lauren Ingram tried spinning the moment, warning her viewers that the left-wing media machine was using Hanks to push anti-Trump propaganda. Because, you know, when Tom Hanks says something, it's apparently a deep state operation. I guess that means Forrest Gump was just an elaborate psyop designed to make Americans love shrimp. Let's be real, this is just the latest episode in Trump's ongoing feud with Hollywood. He spent years ranting about A-list actors who dare call him out. In fact, this wasn't even his first rodeo with Tom Hanks. Listen to this from Tom Hanks.
Look, I didn't think things were going to be this way last November. I would not have been able to imagine that we would be living in a country where neo-Nazis are doing torchlight parades in Charlottesville and jokes about Pocahontas are being made in front of Navajo code talkers. And individually, we have to decide when we take to the ramparts.
And after saying this, Tom rejected the chance to screen his movie The Post at the White House. The copium from Trump and Fox was too much. Which isn't hard to imagine, because that bunch definitely doesn't know how to handle a rejection. As far as Trump is concerned, Meryl Streep, overrated. Yeah, just the 3 Oscars to support that claim in this rant.
Meryl Streep, one of the most overrated actresses in Hollywood, doesn't know me, but attacked last night at the Golden Globes. She is a Hillary flunky who lost big. For the 100th time, I never mocked a disabled reporter, would never do that, but simply showed him groveling when he totally changed a 16-year-old story that he had written in order to make me look bad. Just more very
Robert De Niro, a low IQ individual. Alec Baldwin, terrible at impressions. Which, let's face it, is probably the only accurate criticism he's ever made.
Robert De Niro, a very low IQ individual, has received he spelled 2 wrong, many shots to the head by real boxers in movies. I watched him last night, truly believe he may be punch drunk.
But what makes this different? It's Tom Hanks. This isn't some edgy late-night host or a Twitter warrior. And the best part? Hanks doesn't need to do this. He's not running for office. He's not trying to sell a book. He's just a guy who loves his country enough to call it the biggest threat to it. That's what makes this so powerful. He's not doing this for clicks. He's doing it because it matters.